Pro Wrestling Vault. 35 short stories including Harley Race, Ricky Morton, Tracy Smothers, and Tim Storm. Along with 300 photos from the independent scene, taken from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Get your book today by going to WrestleVille.com or LanceByChance.com. WrestleVille, it's where wrestling lives.
Are you a fan of horror movies?
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
What about cult classics?
Your move, creep.
If you are, you'll love Shocking Things. Please search for us on all the major podcasting platforms. To see our social media and a direct link to our podcast, please go to anchor.fm/shockingthings.
Welcome, everybody, to the PWZ podcast. This is Rick Del Santo, and joining me, as always, Showtime, Marcel Williams. How are you today?
What is going on? We are here. I am in the progress of surviving to watch this Raw, so we are live here on PWZ podcast. And while we sit here giving you all the news, talking about wrestling, talking about our opinions, I'm just going to struggle through this Raw the good way by entertaining your fans on the PWZ podcast live on YouTube and Facebook.
God bless you. Seriously.
Somebody got to do it. Somebody.
Right. Today we're going to talk about AEW Rampage from this past Friday night, which I thought was an interesting episode. So we're going to break into that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Impact pay-per-view that took place on Saturday. Was it Saturday or something? Saturday, which I thought was a very, very good show. But before that, we have a big event coming up for Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling this Saturday at the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Training Facility. It's called Point Blank. It's Saturday night starting at 7 p.m. The main event, champion Matias defending against Chris Battle, Lucas Chase, and Bloodsaw.
Absolutely. It's going to be a night of great surprises and a big event. The last big event was under the radar last month, but we are here this Saturday. We got more matches. RJ Rue's return, former Intercontinental Champion for PAPW, and just announced we got Bull Dread, two former PAPW Intercontinental Champions, Bull Dread versus Zachariah Gibbs. Both these guys look for a win, and we'll see what's going to happen this Saturday. 7 p.m. bell time. Once again, 662 Colt Ave, East Haven, Connecticut, Paradise Alley Training Facility. Don't you miss it. And also, see, it's on the screen. See, I love Rick Del Santos.
High tech.
Doing it all.
Don't forget all.
Yeah. You
Today, Paradise Alley on their Facebook page announced the return of Behind the Bell with Matt DeCourt and Bill Thompson. Tune in tomorrow on their YouTube channel, correct?
Nah, it will be on the Facebook page for
okay.
or official PAPW. It will be in the afternoon. Soon you see the pop-up is going to say up there, and y'all could get all your info going into this Saturday. Big event, Point Blank.
Yep. We're going to be talking about that, obviously, after it happens as well. It's going to be a good show. Lots of promise. I'm really looking forward to it, man. This weekend.
Now I look forward to it too. It's a big event, man. It's been a while. You know, we've been having alley fights that's been hyping up to get this into gear, get PAPW back into gear again. What's going on with Mickey Biggs? He said, let's start the chat out with a huge hello.
Oh, Mickey Biggs is in the chat. Let's see. Check
Mickey
it out.
Biggs
Mickey
is in
Biggs.
the chat.
Hello, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Mickey Biggs, my co-host for the NWA Spotlight, which airs every Wednesday evening. So don't forget this week to tune in. And immediately after, me and Marcel are going live to cover AEW Dynamite.
Yes, live right after.
Yep. So it's two shows back to back this Wednesday.
Speaking of back-to-back, we got alley fights coming in
That
the
is
month of May.
correct.
It's May 13th. Nice segue by Rick.
Yeah.
May 13th and
Look
Saturday,
at
May
that.
14th. Bell time 7 p.m. Same place, PAPW training facility, 662 Cole Avenue, East Haven, Connecticut. Buy one show, $10. Buy two shows altogether, $15. Limited seating capacity for both shows, which is the 2-night event and Point Blank. And PAPW is going to start rolling, and it's going to start this Saturday.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. We got a big summer coming up over at Paradise Alley. Don't forget, there's the big show. Power Play is coming up, and then the big show at Cadillac Ranch also coming up, which is should be interesting.
Absolutely. I have minimum news about June 29th. All I know is it's wild wrestling at the Cadillac Ranch. More details coming soon. We got Kevin Sullivan, former wrestling legend, and we got Just Incredible, former ECW champion, and a few other Richard Holiday, MLW contender for the MLW championship. And more to come. I may be there. I may not. I don't know. But I may be there. But we got Power Play. Before we hit there, we do got Power Play. Location will be announced soon.
The last time you told me you weren't going to be there, you lied and you showed up. So I don't know
I
what
did.
to believe.
I showed up with
anymore.
a smile on my face and looked right at you.
Let's get into Rampage.
Absolutely.
The show started off Adam Cole defeating Tamahiro Ishii. The crowd was kind of silent for this. While I thought it was a very good match, I read today, that this match was severely edited for television. Yeah. Yep. Also, the Kingston match was actually
why was it
edited too.
edited? Was it too
Maybe
long?
it went too long. Maybe there were too many spots that they didn't particularly care for, or maybe they just couldn't fit it all into TV. Maybe it just went too long.
That could be the case. I mean, it's only an hour show. The way I looked at it is you had more matches expected on Rampage that usually be happening. And I was sitting there watching it Friday. I was like, they got a lot of matches for it to be an hour. And if they had to do some cut down, I am not surprised. Yeah, it's usually about 3. It used to be the Saturday night main event format where they have 3 matches and some promos.
Right. A lot of promos. Also, the AEW a clip from earlier today, AEW through security threw Jericho Appreciation Society out of the building, except for Danny Garcia, who has a match with Eddie Kingston. Jericho is filing a complaint with HR over Daniel Garcia's promise to win. Excuse me. Nope. He is. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. My notes wrong. I can't read my notes properly. Jericho is filing. It is the bear, I think. He's filing a complaint with the HR, and Daniel Garcia promised to win because he is a sports entertainer. And then Hook speaks. We got Hook. And well, go ahead about this segment.
Oh, no. Before we get into the segment, what do you think about the sports entertainer gimmick of the... I know Jericho is like one of the greatest of all time during this modern era here that's continuously to evolve his character. And I'm loving his sports entertainer gimmick.
I think that's what he needs at this time. You know what I mean? Not to say that he's a bad wrestler anymore, because he's definitely not. He's just can't do the stuff that he did 20 years ago. So he's evolving with the times by making his character a certain way. And I completely understand that, and I completely appreciate that. So the sports entertainer gimmick, I'm completely digging. I'm laughing at some of the references he's making to, the leader in sports entertainment, taking lines from WWF TV in 1985, home videos. Yes. You know what I mean? So I'm digging that. And I'm laughing at a lot of the stuff he says because it's taken straight from there, and it's supposed to be, humorous. I'm digging it, though.
So I got one question for you.
Sure.
And this was something I listened to a few days ago. Do you think, because it will happen, whether anybody likes it or not, if Jericho do come back to WWE, should he use the Judas gimmick or break the walls down gimmick?
I think it's time that he does come. When he does come, I think it'll be time that he does need to come in with Judas. It's what's known now, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things. WWE's got to bite it and just take it like that, you know?
Absolutely.
Same thing they did with Cody, with Cody's theme and all that stuff. Jericho has rebuilt his character so many times over the years. And each time, sometimes some things may not have worked, some things do, but this it's just one of those things that I would expect to see him come in with Judas. Maybe it'll be at a Royal Rumble or something to that effect. He already came in for, what do you do, the Broken Skull session. So I mean, this past year for WWE with in their version, I guess, of the Forbidden Door, if you will, not that theirs is like as wide open as say AEW's or Impact's or whatever, but they have acknowledged Impact and they have acknowledged AEW with Jericho being on the Broken Skull sessions, etc. So anything could really happen. It really can.
No, it can. And this is the wrestling business, and the last word, business.
I think they can make a lot of money with Jericho coming in like that.
Absolutely.
With the Judas character, right?
As a refresher.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the place would go absolutely insane if they once they heard that opening riff of Judas.
Absolutely. That Cody Rhodes, the whole thing with WrestleMania, and every week he's coming out and they evolving the character entrance and doing everything that they can to make it their own, which they did.
Right.
They stopped the stage coming up, even though his head got stuck in the middle of it on WrestleMania Monday for Raw. But he overcame and they fixed it, and it looks even better. So it's sooner or later, we're gonna have some good things coming up in the wrestling business.
We got Dead Killer 1x1 in the chat. That's Jack from that I work with. Hello, Jack. How are you? Great. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Mickey Biggs. This open door to New Japan, sadly, is not a big of a deal as most people think it is. I think it's going to be pretty amazing to watch the show. There's so many possibilities as to great matchups that can happen between whoever's in AEW currently in New Japan. There's a lot of potentials. A lot of people, I was listening to Meltzer and Alvarez today. There's like, one of the possibilities that they're throwing out there is Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., which could be, if that happened, that'd be like match of the year candidate. I mean, without it even happening yet,
No,
just the talk of it.
Absolutely. This has been a weak debate about this Forbidden Door that's coming up in June, and I kind of feel like it's for everybody, but then it's not. This announcement was made for the fans that really want this confrontation, this super show, right. And it's not catering to a WWE audience, which is fine, but it's catering to the people that want a super show that's a legit brand extension super show, and that's what I call this, a brand extension Forbidden Door event. Now, this 1 year, it may be a 1 year type of deal, and I hope it does be a 1 year type of deal where we figure out who's the best. We got, if this works out, this could be future shows to come where we can have mix-up matches. We can have Omega versus Okada in America for the first time ever. It may not happen this one, but this is successful. We may end up getting that. So it's just, right. It's a big business deal on both fronts.
Right. And I think I'm not saying taking anything away from, what Mickey said. I think it's just a matter of what your preferences are and in your opinion, as to how you look at it. I mean, I believe Mickey's not as big an AEW fan, if I remember correctly.
That's understandable.
I do enjoy.
I respect it.
I mean, you don't have to like it just because it's out there, I do enjoy AEW. Do I like everything they do? We've discussed it, and I've absolutely shit on things that I absolutely hated and watching it. You know what I mean?
And I have to.
Yeah. There's plenty of things that I've said that I didn't particularly care for there. So it is what it is.
This is a big deal for wrestling business, though. It's just like the ROH in New Japan that evaded Madison Square Garden a few years ago.
They need to not make the same mistakes. They need to not make the same mistakes Ring of Honor did when they come in. Say, you know, a lot of people didn't care when Okada was headlining Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? With the Ring of Honor, it's like people. I was reading something. People were walking out of the building during the match. Not a lot of people, you know, the Ring of Honor faithful, if you will, that weren't necessarily fans of New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't forget they had give me a line. The rapper guy, and the tall guy. Morrissey.
Oh, Enzo Amore, yeah,
Enzo
Amore,
and then
Cass, Big Cass.
Thank you.
Yep.
And those guys, you know, that kind of was kind of like the nail in the coffin for the show. They got a lot of heat for that.
They did. I was there live, and those fans was hot about that situation.
I can imagine. I mean, these sports entertainers, if you will, coming into Ring of Honor. They don't match that style, but I get what they were trying to go with. You know what I mean? It just didn't work out the way I guess Kerry Silken thought that it would have with that. And it ultimately was a downhill from after that MSG show. There's ultimately a downhill for Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And hopefully they can overcome that. They have the beautiful, I love this arena, the United Center. Only held the CM Punk return and SummerSlam 1994.
Have you ever been there before?
No, but I would like to go. It's a beautiful arena. It's one of those beautiful arenas that I love. It's like one of those staple centers, Madison Square Garden. I love like arenas and stadiums. I just love the design of them and how they look logistically when a wrestling event is in it.
I understand. Mickey Big says nothing. I'm not a fan. I just cannot really get into it. I understand. You know,
I respect it.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to get into it. You know, there's people that still don't understand like watching the NWA today. You know what I mean? Or give me another promotion. Like why people still watch WWE?
Yeah, people. Some people may not. I only watch MLW for like when holidays involved because that's the only interesting thing to me at the moment. Don't at me, please. So
I'm totally you're missing out on a great product with MLW. I think
I am because they making big things and that's my fault. You know, time restraints make me just like we were about to talk about in a few about Impact Wrestling soon. You know,
we're gonna get into that, but I think as far as MLW goes, it's probably the most underrated of like the big 5 or 6 companies in the United States right now.
Absolutely.
A lot of great stuff on there. And that guy, Alex Kane, is ripping it up in there. Hammerstone's ripping it up in there. There's just a lot of good stuff. Oh, my God. He keeps getting more and more insane. Yeah.
That and the Hogan 91 tan.
Right. So as I was going to the next segment, Hook destroyed a bag of chips. Or no, excuse me. Danhausen destroyed a bag of chips. I'm saying things out of order. In the back because they are the source of Hook's power. And he had a bag of Lay's potato chips that he was, you know, I said, you wanted my attention? You got it, Hook says. So I guess we're laying into a Hook and Danhausen feud. I'm not against it.
No, I'm not against either because I cannot wait for Danhausen to get destroyed. I will pay money to see that.
I love Danhausen. He's fun.
Danhausen is a good character, but he's really going to get destroyed. I'm going to love it.
I'm not saying he's like, you know, the greatest wrestler. He's okay. His thing is all about the character.
Absolutely.
It's not, you know, he's comedic and, you know, I'm not necessarily a comedic guy, but when it comes to wrestling, but he actually makes me laugh. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that he does. And it's like, he got a lot of his attention through his online presence as opposed to, you know what I mean? And then people became interested in him because of his online presence and a lot of his posts and YouTube videos and whatnot.
Yeah, he's learned how to be marketable, no point intended, in this business. And I'm just going to say he's getting destroyed.
Think he's going to go after that damaged leg of Danhausen?
I don't think that's even needed. I don't think that's even needed. Poor Danhausen.
Poor Danhausen. Exactly.
Slaughtered.
Lance Archer defeated Serpentico.
This match right here.
He got raped. All right.
Yeah. So. OSHA need to be called. Anytime I see something sloppy on wrestling, from now on, I'm just gonna say OSHA need to be called now. OSHA, somebody, Teamsters.
Right. He just ripped the shit out of Serpentico. Like it was just.
It was bad.
Let's post after the match. Mark Sterling, smart Mark Sterling. There's a package of Tony Nese highlights. Sterling promised to take Nese to the top. I'm glad to see that Tony Nese is getting a lot of attention here in AEW, or some attention, more than he has since his release in WWE, since he joined AEW. I'm excited to see what AEW will do with the premier athlete. The guy is an amazing talent. WWE, pushed him for a little bit towards that cruiserweight title, and then it fizzled away. And, it seemed like every time they put the cruiserweight title on somebody over there in the WWE, and then which they ended up making it an NXT title exclusively, nobody cares. After they take it off them, it's just like, okay, you're back down there and you're working, opening card status. You're coming up and jobbing on the main event, or et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it's a newfound success for Nese, and he's with Mark Sterling now, so he's building his whole group with Jade Cargill. So he got to make all these stars stand out, especially with his mic work and all the lawyer loopholes. So I'm looking forward to that.
Excuse me.
There we go. We just started.
Eddie Kingston defeated Daniel Garcia. This match, from what I've read, was severely edited. I guess it went a little bit too long or whatnot. This is a pretty good match. I'm still convinced Eddie Kingston is one of the best and most underrated talents in professional wrestling.
No, absolutely. Don't judge the body with the character. He could talk, he could brawl, he could show the facial emotion, and he's a stiff character. And this match was as stiff as it can be, and I enjoyed it. Daniel Garcia is a real good talent, a good addition to the Jericho Appreciating Society. It may be a little standout because he says he's a sports entertainer, but he looked like a professional wrestler. But
he does look like a professional wrestler, correct?
But sooner or later, time will tell. He may turn into a sports entertainer.
After the match, Eddie Kingston took his belt off as if he was going to whip him, and then he said he was saving this whipping for Jericho.
Yeah, I cannot wait. This is starting to build up into a blood feud, and hopefully we get some blood and guts.
Question: you think it's going to go in the way of a strap match?
I believe it's going to be a strap match.
Yeah.
They got to do all the matches that Cody did already. They got to get all these matches out the way that Cody already beat them to. So we already got the chain match, the dog collar match out the way. So
right. Let's see, backstage, Tony Schiavone interviewed Keith Lee and Swerve. Promised the war with Team Taz isn't over, and Lee was particularly disappointed that Taz interfered. Ricky Starks offered a retort from commentary. The feud must continue. I think Ricky Starks is killing it, man. He's one of the best talkers in AEW. The guy's great.
Yes, Ricky Starks, future of this wrestling business. I seen it coming in NWA, but you can read this comic as I go along. You go ahead.
Right. Kingston, according to Mickey Biggs, Kingston is one of the best. Let's hope Tony continues to book him the way he has been. I think that he's going through so much in AEW that no matter what they're doing with him, it's very convincing.
Yeah, it's easy to book a guy like Kingston. He's all out, no strings attached type of character that just don't take no ish from nobody, and you continue to book him that way. he's golden.
Right. He can
But
go out there,
it's-
and he's a professional. He'll go out there. He'll take the L. He knows what his job is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He'll put people over. So, he's a very professional guy. He's been around for a very, very long time. So,
Nah, he has.
I remember
He really
seeing him in the
has.
earliest days. Yeah. Let's see.
But
Schiavone-
before you get
Go
to
ahead.
that, Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is the future of the business if he's done right. And I remember seeing him in NWA. That was my first look at him, and I knew he was a standout character then. So this is no surprise. He continues to build the character that he keep on promoting as Ricky Starks. He is after that pop last week in New Orleans. You cannot tell me that he's not a star.
He's a star, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from him. And people are going crazy over it.
Yeah.
They know that about this guy. All right, so the next segment, Tony Schiavone interviewed Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, and Britt Baker. Yeah, I know, right? It's confusing.
Too much Tony Adams.
Storm took over the promo and promised to win the tournament. And that's it.
Who do you think is really going to win this tournament, though? Legit.
I'm still confused as to what the hell is going on. All these qualifying matches, they seem to, it's like they make it up as they're going along. You know what I mean? Remember that, what tournament was it that WCW had in like 2000? Was it the tag team title? It's like people would get eliminated, yet they were back in the tournament.
Oh, that was in 1999. That was the tag team championship tournament, but they was doing it as like a round robin type deal instead of explaining it the way it's supposed to.
The thing is that they stripped the titles off whoever, and then it's just they rebooted the tournament the following week. Do you remember that? Because they didn't like the result or something like. So it's just like that's what this is reminding me of. Maybe I'm just not paying close enough attention to the brackets of the qualifiers. It just seems like they're winging it every week.
Well, if they had the brackets of the qualifiers with the first round and second round, maybe it would have worked out well. But yeah, it does like it's randomly put together where we have like this person versus this person to qualify when you got this whole bracket full of challengers on there already. The only thing about that is, like you said, there's been tournaments like that before with WCW. Then I remember one as well in 1999 with the WCW Championship Tournament where they had Mang in it and Medusa in it, and these matches were 3 minutes. So yeah.
Do you remember? Do you remember? Now this is do you remember the storyline? This is totally random, off topic. You just brought up Medusa, but do you remember when they were when they did the angle where Medusa was dating Evan Courageous? Do you remember this?
I do.
And do you remember that Evan Courageous was it the cruiserweight champion or the TV champion at the time?
Cruiserweight champion.
Cruiserweight. And then Medusa basically covered him like she was making out with him just so he can get pinned and take the title.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. I listen. We don't want to get too off topic.
No, you just made me think of that.
But I'm just gonna put it out there before we get to the main event of Rampage. I'm just gonna tell you, I legit watched WCW through the whole 2000. So every time I hear a review about the whole 2000, how bad it was and all that stuff, I have lived it. I breathed it. I sat there through the whole 2 hours, every trashy segment of 2000. So if you tell me anything about 2000 WCW, it's going to pop in my head and I'm going to remember at the top of my head. It was trash. It was a trash year.
I was a WCW guy right from the beginning, like 1990. Well, I mean, NWA. And then, when that version turned into WCW. Mm-hmm. So to see the changes over the years, which is completely insane.
It is great
how they went from trying to do a family friendly product, ripping off the WWE with all the supposed over the top characters to just the trashy segments at the end was just. But I watched all the way up until the final episode.
Yes, yes. All throughout the monster truck getting stuck on cars, Goldberg hitting the window with a bare arm and almost decapitating his arm, to Sid jumping on a flat car, screaming down the top of his lungs.
Somebody just posted that the other day, where he's like, "Goldberg, you ruined my car." Very convincing. Very convincing.
It was a time. It was some good matches in between of 2000, some few good hidden gems, but it was some hard gems to find in the year 2000 WCW.
If you watch some of the pay-per-views, there's one pay-per-view where, mind you, every match is obviously a gimmick match because it was Vince Russo booking. Okay.
I know,
but the crowd was hot as hell, like fire, like into some of the matches, like the action guys, like the Young Dragons, you know, and stuff like that. Like the ladder match that they had, people were going crazy over. I mean, not to mention the three of them were amazing talents to begin with, but there's some matches that people were absolutely into, even though every match was just a gimmick match.
Yeah, they tried. 2001, they seemed like they was trying to build itself back together again, but it was too late.
Yeah, it was too late. And, Vince bought them at a bargain because
$1 million.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. All right, so let's get into this main event and get back on topic, if you will. It's the the TBS title. Excuse me. Jade Cargill, that's Adonis's favorite, by the way, defeated Marina Shafir. Sorry, I read that backwards. Do you want to take this one? You know how I feel about Jade. She has improved. This match was actually a bit of an improvement.
Listen, I like newsflash, Asuka's back. As I'm watching Raw.
Breaking news. I should have the one night, well, not the one night, but I've given up after Raw. For Raw, that last episode that we did a live review of. So, F that.
Yeah, newsflash, Asuka returned during the Becky Lynch segment. So we looking like WrestleMania Backlash at the premium.
Might make me watch it though.
Live event.
That might make me watch it if she's on. So who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a match that has a big rivalry that is spanning back to always a few years ago, where Becky Lynch could not beat Asuka, but she finally beat Asuka at the Royal Rumble before the pandemic kicked in. So they revisited, and I'm interested. But back to this Jade Cargill Marina Shafir match. You could tell both of them was green. They seemed like they was working on this match for weeks, and I gotta give them some slack. They built it up for this 30th win to make it special, and Jade Cargill came out with the win. But I just gotta shout out to Guardian Chaos. Just popped on in. He's a little late to the party. It's fine.
Hey.
It's Monday.
What's happening?
But Jade Cargill came out with the win, and with her finisher and retained the title 30-0. But this match was it was a little rough, but they tried. I give them some effort.
To me, or did they really try to push Marina for this with all the video packages and really hype her up?
They had to make this 30th win special, man. They had to.
Yeah.
They had to. I mean, Jade Cargill been beaten. I felt like she beat more important opponents before Marina Shafir. She beat Ty Conti, and then she beat Thunder Rosa. And just she has beaten other opponents that was way better than Marina Shafir. But just like these boxing matches that happens on Showtime, it could be the crappiest opponents possible facing Mayweather or whoever, but they will make that opponent look as golden as possible for you to pay that $60, and that's what happened here.
Is that how much a fight costs these days? That's it?
Absolutely $60.
It's a bargain.
I don't purchase, but $60.
I mean, you just go to the websites.
You can, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
I enjoy my Serious Face premium live events.
You gotta stop saying that.
Yeah, I love it. I gotta make it serious. They made it serious now. It's no longer pay-per-view. Nick Khan said call it premium live events.
I might be the only one that continues to call it a pay-per-view. Everybody keeps saying that. I guess you're not paying per view any longer. Pay-per-view is dead for the most part. With the exception of, I guess, do people still purchase movies on pay-per-view? Is that a thing?
Well, people still go to the movies, but yeah.
No, I mean, like at their home.
Well, basically, you know what? If you don't go to the movies, you can purchase the movies now on Vudu. You can purchase it on Amazon Prime Video. There's a lot of other options that you can purchase a movie that comes out now out of the movie theater instead of pay-per-view. There's still pay-per-view out there, though. It's still out there.
Yeah, right. On demand, but isn't on demand pretty much the the same thing? I mean,
it's the same thing. You instead of you being on a pay-per-view schedule, you could just on demand it and just watch it on your time.
Thank you for the compliment. PWZ is a premium live event. We are here several nights a week. Can't tell you which, but
can't tell you which. Yeah, we're not in control.
We've got 5 shows this week. Okay, so
hard work.
Yeah, man, hard work. Tomorrow night, don't forget, tune in because at 9:00, Sunset Steve Garcia joins PWZ for a nice interview. So I'm looking forward to talking to Steve.
Absolutely. Steve is a good character, good addition to Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Got a big match this Saturday.
I'm going to ask what he has to say about Mr. Mickey Biggs and his little friend, Gregory Baylor. So,
yeah.
Yep.
Steve got beef for everybody.
He does. Impact held this Rebellion pay-per-view over the weekend. I thought it was a very good show. I was actually surprised I haven't tuned into an Impact pay-per-view in, almost a year because, Impact is an up and down promotion, but they're really on a roll lately. They're doing a lot of good.
No, absolutely. I didn't get to watch the Impact pay-per-view. I do know that Josh Alexander, let me get that right. It's cool as light kicking in the Blue Mountains. He won the championship, the Impact Championship for Moose. And the story spans back 2 months ago where Moose cashed in his contract on Josh Alexander after he won his first ever Impact Championship. And he got his redemption back with Josh Alexander. But the thing is, I haven't watched Impact for a long time since AEW got into business. I stood by Impact all the way to TNA days, even to the TNA NWA days, and kind of fell off because it wasn't kicking it, man. It was doing some WCW vibes.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree. There was a lot of things that they've done that made me tune out for a very long time. I can tell you the first time that I tuned out for a very long time, October 10th, 2010. Yeah. So they kept building this thing up 10 for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
And then they came out, they built it up, and it was fucking Bischoff and Hogan come out and do a promo for 50 minutes. No commercial breaks. I shut the shit off. I didn't turn it back on until 2018. That's the first time I started watching Impact again in 2018 after an 8-year absence. I was disgusted at this whole thing that there was not one match in the first hour, on their Spike TV days. So, during the 2018, a lot of people kept saying, "Oh man, it's really, really good. There's a lot of good stuff." And I'm like, yeah, I just don't trust that.
Yeah.
It's like you said, WCW vibes. When at the worst of WCW, even though I continued to watch WCW, it was very cringeworthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what convinced me, but I watched Slammiversary 2018. I was like, holy shit, that was a really great show. And I found myself at Bound for Glory in Queens for that show for later that year. And I have to say, still to this date, Bound for Glory 2018 was still probably one of the best shows I've been to in my entire life, and I've been to a lot of wrestling shows in my life in the 47 years that I've been alive. So still have to say that was one of the best shows that I've ever been to.
Yeah, I was at the Bound for Glory that was in Philadelphia with Bobby Roode face Kurt Angle in the main event.
Damn,
and
that was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a great build-up, but Kurt Angle came out as the winner. And it was a good house in Philadelphia. Half of the top end of the other side was kind of empty. But it seemed like the momentum kept on building once Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, they had changed the name 1,000 times, became the champion. And he started building up that title reign that was, I feel like it was real good, his TNA title reign that he had. His only title reign.
I have to go back and watch because there's a lot of really good stuff I missed out on in that 8 years. Because all right, I'm not quite 47, but I will be soon. Thank you. So Jonathan Gresham was pulled from the Impact show as well, and Chris Bay took his place. And in the match against Eddie Kingston, they ended up putting the show on a pre-show, which I thought, man, Impact does a lot of stuff like that. This match was fire. Literally, that's like the two Eddie Kingston, Eddie Edwards.
Edwards, correct.
Yeah, sorry, we were talking about Kingston before. Another amazing talent from the the Northeast, the New England area, and Chris Bay. We're familiar with him. He's made Paradise Alley an appearance before.
Let me tell you. Wait, I'll pause that, my guy.
Hold on, let me put this up.
Yeah, please put that up. Let me tell you something. So now I'm gonna shoot.
Oh man,
I don't use no Just for Men, my guy. I don't. This is legit natural. I'm not there yet, and don't rush me, buddy. Don't rush me, buddy. It's rare that I tell Rick to pop up some comments, but you know what? That deserves a pop up.
So the Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, The Influence, Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, defeated The Inspiration, aka The Iconics, to retain the titles. I'm not going to speak
of the formerly known Iconics run in Impact Wrestling.
I don't really care.
Damn. Okay.
We be honest. It's like anytime somebody gets let go from the E, if they get hired by Impact, they're immediately a star. They immediately get a title shot. They immediately get a title put on them.
They went on.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with the Iconics or whatever they're called now. They won the titles their first night in there. That's a very common thing in Impact, and it's quite frustrating, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know why they got to go, and they're not a very good tag team. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coolers Light right here. The Blue Mountains. Sponsor me, please. Coolers. Blue Mountains.
I told you, Coors Light is my summer beer. That's like when on a hot summer day, nothing goes down like a Coors Light in 100-degree weather.
Sure does. Get that Jameson out.
No Jameson tonight. I'm drinking Long Trails of Vermont IPA tonight. No whiskey tonight. I don't think I can handle whiskey tonight. I've already had a few beers.
If Jameson was in this room right now, this laptop be all over the floor. It'd be a WrestleMania here or something. I don't know what's going on.
This would be a lot weirder of a show tonight.
It'd be I'm a big fan of the Jameson, though. Jameson's great, man.
Same. Yep. Did you ever try Maker's Mark or Knob Creek?
I tried Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is good as well. Nice and smooth.
It's very strong. Knob Creek is probably 3 times the strength of Jameson. It'll knock you on your ass.
Yeah, I heard that would knock you right on your ass.
Yeah. Let's see. The main show, Steve Macklin defeated Jay White and Chris Sabin in a 3-way. This match was freaking great.
I heard this
I'll tell
match
you.
was great. And I even watched this
good
match. I heard it's real good.
Saban, as long as he's been doing it, has not slowed down at all. Let's see what Mickey Biggs. I will stick with my Guinness Stout. I didn't know you drank Mickey Biggs.
Now we know.
I am a Guinness the Drought fan. So, yeah, Stout's a little bit bitter. Comes off a little bit bitter.
You know, I never tried Guinness.
We got to get you out sometime, dude. Seriously.
Damn. All right. I'm about to get some emails now.
I'm going to take you to a beer tasting.
I'll go to a beer tasting.
Let's see.
We should do a show.
I've never had the blonde, Nikki. What's that?
We should do a show there at a beer tasting. Yeah,
they always got them up at the casino and such. See, Taya Valkyrie defeated Deonna Perazzo to win the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. This was another really good match.
Yeah, this women's match I heard great reviews about. It was real good.
Yeah, Taya Valkyrie back in Impact. She seems to fit in very well in Impact as opposed to, say, NXT. It was not very good, her experience in NXT. Not that she was there very long, but, her and Impact, it just seems to go together, like, perfectly,
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Where else are we? Sorry, I got to bring up my notes one more time.
It's okay.
Ace Austin defeated X Division champion Trey Miguel and Mike Bailey in a 3-way. This was another one. The X Division match was very, very, very good match. Surprised. I'm surprised and not surprised at the same time of them putting the belt back on Ace Austin. The guy's a really, really good talent. Tamahiro Ishii defeated Jonah. Hold up a second, Mickey. We might become best friends if I'm reading this correct. I make homemade absinthe if you ever want some. Whoa. We're not off limits as to putting comments up on the screen. So,
So
yeah, Tamahiro Ishii and Jonah. While the whole show was completely like the fans were really into it and screaming a whole lot and all the you get what I'm saying behind everything. This match, while it was a decent match, it was a completely different style of match, and the crowd was like completely quiet for this match. It was good, just it wasn't fitting in with the rest of the way that the crowd was flowing. You know what I'm saying?
So it's kind of like the repeat of Adam Cole versus Ishii from last
in a way, yeah. Yep. Let's see. Ishii's been killing it over here in the US lately, right? He's been out here for a few months now.
He's been killing it.
Yeah.
Putting that work in.
Absolutely. His US tour is just I just missed. All right, hang on. Let me get down here. Hang on. I got my notes.
All right, this is the best time I'm having doing this whole Raw that's on right now.
Anything else happened there so far?
No, just the Oscar return that I seen.
Can't imagine.
We got the announcement of AJ Styles versus Edge, a rematch from WrestleMania.
It's going to be on Backlash?
WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, WrestleMania Backlash. Man, I can't wait to go cover that one. It's going to be a headache and a half.
We're doing an after show after that, are we? Live?
Of course. Why not?
Tired and drunk?
Yeah, of course. That's when the shows are the best, is when we've had a few. Impact Tag Team Championship. Violent by Design. Eric Young and Joe Doring retained the titles against in an 8-man tag team, 8-team elimination match. This is interesting. It went, it's kind of long considering there's like 8 teams, you know what I mean? It was a lot of fun to watch though. What's that? Yeah.
A lot of bodies.
And a lot of people don't seem to not dig Eric Young. I think the guy is a very underrated talent.
Yes, he is. He did great work in Impact Wrestling, TNA in the early years. Then he came to WWE, and I felt like he got a short end of the stick with the group that he had.
Sanity,
Sanity, and now he's back at Impact Wrestling, continuing that great work. And, you're going to be one of these stars that end up, talking about that was real underrated.
Yeah. I think while Sanity fit in and did their really good job in NXT once they got to the main roster, it's just like one of those things that they brought them up and it's just, they fizzled out immediately, which happens to a lot of the main roster. Like when they bring people into the main roster from NXT, and it's kind of upsetting because there's some of these people are amazing talents. So look what happened to Killer Cross, guys like that. So
yeah. Keith Lee.
Yeah. That's like probably, I was saying that it's funny because a lot of times the guys that come up from NXT, they bring them up on the main roster. I'm like, this guy is going to be the future of the company. And then they end up getting let go or quitting. I said the same thing about Moxley. I said, he's going to be the future of the company. And then he leaves. He's a future
he leaves
of another
to be
company.
A bigger star in another company.
Yeah. And, Keith Lee, I said, the guy's going to be a future WWE champion. He's going to lead the company. What happens? He gets let go. So hopefully, no, yeah, I was way wrong. So hopefully, and I said the same thing about Killer Cross too, but hopefully, Keith Lee will get that shot that I was predicting for him in WWE in AEW. I have a feeling that it may happen.
No, absolutely. His work is continuing to be A+ in AEW, and him and Strickland they're a great team together. Great
former MLW champion.
Yeah, former MLW champion, former NXT North American champion, even though he never defended it but one time. But still a great talent, both all around. Oh, speaking of WWE wasting talent, we doing great segues tonight, by the way. What do you think of Finn Balor right now? He's facing Damian Priest at this moment, so we obviously know what position that he's in tonight.
He's going to help get the Priest new character over, his new heel persona over, I'm guessing. He took the L, was it last week to Austin? Theory.
Wasn't on the WrestleMania card at all.
No, which I thought was bizarre. But if you remember, what is it? Last year, the year before, Kevin Owens also wasn't, even though he had just returned. So there's something weird, I don't know. Finn Balor, while he is great talent, he's there, he's doing his job. You see him leaving anytime soon? When's his contract up?
I don't know, but I kind of got a feeling that he won't resign. I'd be surprised as hell if he resigned.
Think he'll go back to New Japan or he'll run over to AEW?
I can see him either. It's hard to come by now to say somebody's going to AEW. The AEW roster is real stacked. And as a star, if I wanted to go somewhere, I would want to go somewhere to make a difference and then make my name for myself to build myself up. So if AEW wants me, they want me. So I kind of feel like, it's hard being in there. It's just like it's new person every week. Keith Lee just came in and feel like he's old news. Nothing against the guy and his work is still showing out, but still, it's just Adam Cole came back October, and it seemed like he's been there forever. It seemed like went to old news. It's nothing against the talent and work.
Well, you can't really say that. No offense, like not to say anything bad to Marcel, but he just had a world title shot last week against Paige too.
Yes, he did.
So you can't really say that like he's necessarily old news, but I get what you're saying, that it took them months to put that match on, which didn't really, I don't know. It's just strange. I'd like to see them do a little bit. Sometimes they bring these guys in, then they linger on Dark and Elevation for a while. You know what I mean?
Well, I get certain concepts.
They'll make their big debut on, Dynamite, but then stuck on the YouTube channels for however many months. You know what I mean?
No, I get the concept that, we just talked about Impact Wrestling bringing in somebody winning championship the first night. or get their championship opportunity a month in. Right. AEW has them accumulate wins along the way. Right. Adam Cole ended up coming in. Yeah, he ended up coming in since October, and he had a good record coming in, so it made him an automatic contender. CM Punk, same way. He's been on a roll lately, on a streak, and facing the top 5. So, the story is there where you're earning your keep to become champion.
Mickey Biggs says CM Punk, the next AEW champion. I think you and I discussed this before, Marcel, that we're kind of on the same page.
I agree.
I think it's definitely going to happen. I think there's a very little chance of him not becoming champion soon against Page, to be honest with you. Very little chance. I'd be very shocked in a way, but I wouldn't also be surprised if it was one of those things where they end up using using Punk, knowing his status in the wrestling business, to help elevate Page as their champion, because they're honestly saying that Page isn't delivering as the world champion that he should be as since winning the title, really. What do you think about that? What's your opinion on that?
I mean, I half and half agree. I mean, Kenny Omega, when he was champion, he was defending the title once a month, and even on TV. And Jon Moxley, same deal. Chris Jericho, same deal. I don't know what the issue with Adam Page and his situation. It may be nothing, but he hasn't been active at all on TV at all.
They're also saying that they're not putting him up against much competition as well, or interesting storylines.
Well, storylines don't have to be done. I mean, we already knew the storyline with, scratching my eye. We already knew the storyline about him and Adam Cole. But you could always come in and just like he did, he faced Dante Martin one episode of Dynamite. They at least come make an appearance and put some work in and do a match here and there just to keep in shape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not saying that he's not in shape. Maybe he does put the work in while I'm not watching. But you as a world champion, you need to put the work in. You're not no Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is one of those guys that can do it. Right. Kenny Omega put the work in. All these guys put the work in. You got to put the work in as well. And I kind of feel like his title reign been underwhelming because he hasn't been on TV to perform.
If you're going to be the head of the company, the face of the company, you got to do the work. Exactly. You got to come out there and perform. You don't think Bruno Sammartino didn't. You don't think Flair didn't. Hogan did. So, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying there. Mm-hmm. Let me run down these couple extra matches out of Impact that I haven't mentioned yet, and then we'll get into any other topic that needs to be discussed. Knockouts champion Tasha Steelz defeated Rosemary. Actually left the room for this match. Didn't care. And of course, like I said, Josh Alexander defeated Moose for the world title. This match, I don't get this way often. Very few times do I get this match while watching wrestling in my, as Big Daddy pointed out, 46 years. I was at the edge of my seat during some of this match. Like literally, like that's how I felt. There was like, with the near falls, these guys went in there and told the perfect story. And as we discussed earlier, when Moose cashed in his contract, whatever it was called, took the title right from Alexander after winning it within 2 minutes or whatever. Mm-hmm. They involved Alexander's family in this storyline and in the angle and in this matchup. I believe that this storyline was perfectly done. This matchup was just, like I said, it was a perfect story. And I'm happy for Alexander. I'm happy for Impact Wrestling for doing such a great angle.
Nah, it was a story for a good redemption story for Josh Alexander.
Absolutely. He's a tremendous wrestler, by the way.
Yeah. He was part of a good team, the North.
A great tag team, dude. They were one of my favorites while they were in existence. Yeah.
It's crazy that AEW just didn't pick up both of them at the same time to keep
I was really surprised. Was it that they didn't offer him a contract, or did he opt to stay with Impact?
I think he opted to stay with Impact. That's probably what happened. Because there's no way that you just break up a team like that. They was a hot team.
They were, and maybe they what's the word? I'm trying to remember. Oh, maybe he had more in his. I'm sorry. Maybe he had more in his contract. Maybe like that he could work other independent dates, etc. Or spend more time with his family. I mean, because Impact really does like what one TV taping a month. How many actual events? So it could have been something that just worked out in Josh Alexander's favor.
Yeah, it could have. I mean, it wouldn't make no difference. You went to AEW; they only do one show a week. And they do certain dark tapings and stuff. So, I mean, like you said, maybe that situation worked out for him with Impact, and it looked like it did. It did justice. He made the right decision.
Yeah. Let's see. Don't forget this coming Wednesday, we're going to be talking about Dynamite. Dax Harwood
live.
Yeah, we're live 10 minutes after the hour. Just letting you know. And one of the matches I'm looking forward to is the Owen Hart qualifier match. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. FTR
explodes.
This is going to be an amazing match. This
may be the opener.
Yeah, it very well could be the opener, but it's going to get the set. It's going to get the mood set for the rest of the show.
No, it is. I'm looking for first time ever. FTR collided for the Owen Hart Foundation.
Yeah,
is this tournament? Hopefully, we see the bracket soon because I'm getting annoyed. But pop that up. I want you.
I am popping that up. Look for them in WWE. I highly doubt if you're referring to FTR. I highly doubt it. There's a reason why they left there and went directly to AEW. And right now they're absolutely killing it in AEW. They had a little bit of a stall, for a little bit in between title runs, but I don't know, man. They're probably one of the best, if not the best, tag team out there right now.
All right, so I'm gonna give my opinion about this situation because I'm glad Mickey Big said that. That was a big news topic last week.
He's got his follow-up. They will be back, trust me. I'll believe that when Andre the Giant returns. No offense. Sorry, Mick. Love you.
Hey, Mick, I'm just gonna tell you, my guy.
I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening, but the thing is, WWE had him.
Yeah,
they had him.
They ruined them.
Same gimmick, same performance, all that stuff. They had him, and what they did, they didn't care about him. They dropped him. Yeah. The gimmick never changed. Just the name and the name of the characters just changed, but the performance still stayed the same. And I kind of feel like it's a never say never. I'm not saying that they never gonna go, but they ain't going now. I'm telling you that right now. And it's gonna be a while before they go because they still got more work to do. They still got the New Japan tag team titles to win. They still probably even the Impact tag titles to win.
They haven't won the AEW tag titles. They haven't even won them back yet. At least
they haven't even won them back yet. So
right, and I have a feeling
still got more work to do.
And I think that you and I, on the last episode we did together, that's what we talked about. They're going to probably win them from. I keep forgetting the
Jurassic Express.
Jurassic Express. That's the word I keep forgetting. Is the Jurassic? I wanted to say Lucha, and then I wanted to say Jungle, but yeah. But I have a feeling that they're gonna win them again from those guys, and go forward. If they do return to WWE, I don't think it's going to be for a while. I think it's going to be a little while before, if they ever do.
Yeah, absolutely. FTR is.
I'm talking a couple years.
Yeah, we're talking probably 10 years. It's gonna be a while because they had them. Like that don't make no sense.
I mean,
now all of a sudden you want the same team that you released and wasn't using. That don't make no sense. I can see if they changed their gimmick around and they made it so like more stand out. They the same type of gimmick that they had when they was there.
look at the storyline. And one of the things that I have to say is look at one of the stories that they did. Okay. When they were doing the angle with the Usos. And the Usos just so happened to record them, one shaving the other's back.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that speaks volumes on how you're viewed in the WWE's eyes. You're viewed for a comedic skit as opposed to a serious push, serious storyline, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just,
You're correct.
I don't
It's
know.
not like they bring him back. Like Cody is a prime example. Cody left.
Right.
He's not the same Cody that was there a few years ago. He's not Stardust. He's not the dashing
He's a
Cody
more
Rhodes.
serious character.
He's
more
a
mature
more
character.
serious American Nightmare. He went out there and made his own character. FTR is the same gimmick that they had. Same.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. But sorry. All right, so Marcel, do you have anything else you want to throw out there?
I'm still surviving this Raw while we entertain you about this whole wrestling world. And any news that will pop up, we will surely give you all the news possible Wednesday. Now I'm sounding like Eric Bischoff or something like that to promote Wednesday live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. PWZ, Marcel Williams, Rick Del Santos, follow up on AEW Dynamite. But I mean, unless you want to stay on here more while I watch this lovely Monday Night Raw live, I'm ready to go.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for Mickey, GOC, and everybody else that commented in the chat. I love you guys. Love the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you. I'll be back tomorrow with Sunset Steve. But
wait.
Yeah.
What's up? Wait. My bad.
You're bad.
Before we close out, did you check out SmackDown?
No, I did not check out SmackDown.
Okay. Now, yeah, you close us out. Sorry.
Good night, everybody. Enjoy.
Good night. Enjoy.